But I have really no prepared remarks, except that I thought maybe I'd just share some memories of my mom, and you know, I'm sure, you know, anybody that wants to share some thoughts, you know, I'd ask you to indulge. But the things that I remember about my mom most were that you always knew where she was coming from, and she was sometimes shockingly direct, but that was important to her because you know, her level of authenticity was very, very high. Her level of BS was extremely low. And given that I live in New York, where the BS level is, you know, at a default high level, it was very gratifying to know that every time that you talk to this one person, she would always tell you, to the best of her ability, how she thought things were, how she perceived that they were. You know, and I mean, I remember when she moved out here, and I mean, I was pissed at her. I was very mad, and I remember making her cry on the phone, and I couldn't handle that. So I don't know if she ever realizes that I forgave her, but I think I told her more than once, no, don't worry, it's okay. I'm fine, because you couldn't live with my dad. I get it. I was 100% with that. And I was glad that she was here. She married a really wonderful guy, Barry Renfro. He was wonderful to me. I mean, he was a really good guy. I'm sorry I wasn't here for his memorial service, and I really am. But anyway, so I thought, boy, I was lucky. At least one of them remarried somebody I can stand. The other one was a complete disaster. But that's the way life is. You know, we don't always we don't choose our relatives, unfortunately.
And I'm wondering where you got that directness from.
Yeah, no, and the problem with that, well, you know, and it's, you know, sometimes I think I piss people off in my business because I just tell them kind of what I think. But it's like, well, yeah, but don't you want me to tell you what I think the truth is? You know, you want me to tell you what you want to hear? That may not get you where you need to go, especially if I'm the guy giving you advice. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I'm not as blunt as my mom, and I don't think I'm as brave as she was. I really, you know, she was a very brave lady, and I might get emotional. Hopefully not, but you know, I've been so busy. But I'm so glad that you guys came here and were able to share some thoughts of my mom. So with that, I'm going to just say, you know, anybody that wants, so maybe you'd like to do your reading first, and then anybody that wants to say anything, and you'll probably have better things to say than me.
This
You might have known her longer than me, actually.
This takes it to a very philosophical level. You might prefer sharing personal remembrances first.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Does anybody have something they're burning to say?
Yeah, no, really.
Oh, I do.
Okay, Jane.
Well, so my relationship with Maggie, I think, was 90% yoga classes, and we were always next to each other, and we hold hands because my arms were so long, or I'd have my foot in her mouth, and we always made jokes about that. But Maggie, whenever Ulda wanted to explain something, Maggie, knowing her anatomy like crazy, she'd tell you what part of the body and what was, you know, she knew it all. She would,
Your latissimus dorsi is contracted incorrectly.
yeah. And on top of that, she was probably the most graceful woman I ever observed.
Really?
Yes, she was beautiful. And I miss her.
Well, I do too.
We all do.
Thank you very much for sharing that. I appreciate it. You know, you don't miss her because all these people know her. You can keep talking about her. You know, you can talk to me about her. You can call me. You have my number. I may be busy sometimes, but I call everybody back. So, you know, talk to me. You know,
Thanks, John.
I'm a pretty good listener. Anybody
Actually,
else?
she was an excellent listener.
Oh, my mom? Oh, God,
Yeah.
yes.
And Myrna and I were just sharing that conversation, how what a great listener she was. And he'll pick up the phone, you know, because we wanted to share something big,
Right.
something little, something, whatever it was.
Right.
You knew that you had the best ear
Right.
and the best feedback.
Right.
And so yes, she'll be greatly missed. Not to mention in the class, even now I'll say, well, if Maggie were here, she'd tell us exactly what
Yeah,
those
what Maggie
levels
said,
are.
what my mom said, yeah, I have to think that way.
Yeah. Love very much.
Anyone else?
Well, I guess I'll add to her bluntness,
Yeah.
but, you know, when she came into the Career Center when I first moved here 10 years ago, and one of my first students, and
Right.
I see her caliber of art, and I'm just like totally intimidated, like, oh my God. And then I'm this young woman, and she's this old lady, and she's telling me things about her life. I'm like, oh! So we had lots of great conversations. So my last conversation with her on the phone, and she's just thank you for being that special person.
Yeah.
It's really touching. Very, very thoughtful person.
Anybody over here?
I think based on what these folks have said and my observation of her is that one of my friends said that the most important thing for her about living this lifetime was, and her goal was, to live life consciously. And I'm going to say Maggie lived her life consciously. You get that from her.
Yeah. Well, she would say to me that, you know, to be mindful,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is a yoga thing. Because that's where she told me it came from. Okay?
Correct.
Because everybody, you know, everybody can contribute to everybody else, and everybody can learn from everybody else.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
basically it was, sharing. We share a lot
Right.
in our class. That's what-
Shared wisdom.
Oh, we did. We were working on some things in the house, and we had shared wisdom. You know, he knows how to do some things. She knows things. He knows things. I know things. So we have this collective mind that's actually getting the job done, and that's, you know, which I'm glad. It's like, you know, I'm thankful for that because this is a stressful thing, and these guys are helping make it less stressful for me. That I appreciate.
There's something kind of beautiful every now and then when someone passes, and their passing brings people
Right.
together who might not have ever gotten together, or who knew each other but got to know each other better through
Right.
that person's force. I say, right? Their personality, shared wisdom. Does somebody else want to say?
Anybody else?
I'm Bobby, and so far we've heard all this wisdom and stuff like that, and I don't know if it was a big secret to you that knew her through yoga and stuff like that, but she was a member of Alcoholics Anonymous, and she and I used to drink together,
Right.
okay, which was always interesting. Anybody that drank with me found it interesting, because I was a pretty poor drinker, but and then I got sober and didn't see her for a while, and then she came into Alcoholics Anonymous,
Right.
and my mother was her sponsor. And anytime my mother was your sponsor, you automatically became a member of my family,
Ah.
because mother would drag her anywhere that we were going to go and whatever we were going to do. So I've had, you know, 3 years I had some really close contact with her. She was very special in my life. There's been a number of years where she kind of stepped back, you know, and didn't have a lot to do with some of us. And I was really glad that at the end that she chose to call me, you know, for help. And that really, really made it special for me because she was always a special lady in my life. And I really loved her. Thank you.
I am Marguerite, grateful alcoholic. And I remember Barry and Maggie when they first came to age and how helpful they were when we were still starting out. over in the and all they did for everyone, always. Maggie was very active and so was Barry. And I was very grateful to know them both. People like that are great.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to see her go. We used to come over and have breakfast with her sometimes, Emily and I. You know, and see her once in a while. But in later years, she wasn't as active. And I'm just grateful to be here to celebrate her going because she was a great gal. I'm Julia.
Hi, Julia.
And I've known Maggie through AA, and I've known her for 30 years. And she was a beautiful lady. She really, really helped me and my family to move on and have a better life. I didn't know that she was sick, and I called her and told her that when we were really busy at the time, but when we were done being busy, we'd come and see her. It was like you think that everybody's gonna last forever, you know. And she got sick, and I didn't know it. And finally, Bobby was the one that told me that she was sick and she was in a home. And I was very sad to hear that. But the very next day, me and my husband went to see her. And I told her that I would have been in sooner to see her, but I didn't know that she was sick.